I'm coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed and my stomach is sick and it's all in my head, but she's touching his chest. Now he takes off her dress. Now let me go. And I just can't look, it's killing me and taking control. Jealousy turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis. But it's just the price I paid. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Bright. I'm coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. It started out with a kiss, how did it end up like this? It was only a kiss, it was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep and she's calling a cab while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Now they're going to bed and my stomach is sick and it's all in my head, but she's touching his chest. Now he takes off her dress. Now let me go. 'Cause I just can't look, it's killing me and taking control. Jealousy turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis. But it's just the price I paid. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes, 'cause I'm Mr. Brightside.
I'm saying, baby, I'm ready. I got work on the schedule. Still got it made like I stayed at the telly. Okay, I know that you feel me. I won't come down till you build it. Put your back on the floor. Put your feet in the center. Now you know I'm the realest. Got to handle my business. You got your girl on lock. I pay her conjugal visit. You know my campaign. I support strippers. Got a table of ones. I use Pyrex for my dishes. Okay, I've been on my job and they switched the position. Yeah, I got my ends up and it's just the beginning. You say you do it, I did it, and you know that I'm with it. I got a bitch in your city, that got a bitch in your city.
Pump up the volume.
TikTok, you know, do the 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 TikTok, you know.
Check out the sound. Here is the rhythm, even bigger than the 4 minutes loud and kicking. Check out the sound. Here is the rhythm, even bigger than the 4 minutes loud and kicking. Check out the sound.
rock and roll.
Tick tock, you know. To the 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 tick tock, you know.
The bird machine. Check. Check.
Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now.
Hello, good evening, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Overwatch Watchers Brawl. I'm 3.007. I'm joined by Sir Waltham, and it's on! It's Team Horizon versus SK Rakunyans. And I'm super excited.
I am very excited as well, Threep. Good to be back after our little 30-minute intermission or so. We are going to be seeing, as you mentioned, Horizon versus Rakunyans here moving forward. We're going to be starting on Lijiang Tower, but before we get into the festivities, as per usual, welcome back once again, Cup of Vice.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Well, speaking for me and Threep, I feel confident in saying that it is going well. I just had a nice chicken sandwich. It sounded like Threep had some pasta in the intermission. But I'm going to make myself hungry again before the cast. That's never a good thing. So I'll just go ahead and hop right into the questions here, Cup. Now, you guys, if I'm not mistaken, played GHL, as I was calling them, Greg Heffley lovers, previously, and you guys performed pretty strongly. Are you guys kind of feeling confident that you're going to use that momentum carrying forward into this game?
Oh yeah, we're extremely confident. At that time, at that game, we were actually practicing new comms, new style of play, and so we weren't sure what we were expecting. But coming into this one, we've already kind of solidified a lot of our play styles, and so now it's just more polished, and so we're extremely ready and ready to roll. So.
Oh, so seeing even more proficiency on some perhaps less than usual compositions. I like hearing it. That's gonna be me living in my own fantasy world if it doesn't come true, but I hold the right to be incorrect at least a little bit. Team Horizon playing one of the most fierce games I saw in the first session of the main bracket. They took it 3-2. I think they really kind of showed that they have that endurance factor going for them. Is endurance and your team's ability to play an hour and 45-minute session kind of something that you guys have worked on? And do you guys have long training periods, or is it more condensed kind of styles for you?
When we started out, we definitely were doing like 2-hour scrim blocks, and so we strayed away from that. Now we do 4-hour scrim blocks pretty consistently throughout the week, so endurance is definitely the least of our worries.
All right, well, I look forward to hearing that. I also look forward to seeing those spicy compositions, but we're going to step into Sir Waltham's sandwich corner here for just a second, Cup of Ice. Now, I don't expect you have any concept of what this is, because it's a fairly new thing. I ask you one sandwich-related question, and you answer it however you see fit.
Okay, let's hear it.
Each one of the 6 members on your roster right now, Lum, Incipient, Infernal, Racuna, Milo, and Jack, they're all sandwich ingredients. Who is what?
Very interesting, very interesting. Well, Jack is definitely the bread of the team, kind of keeps the team within the same confines, make sure they don't get out of place. Of course, sometimes these ingredients kind of slip out on their own, but Jack's kind of scoop them back together. Milo's probably the dressings, trying to make sure the consistency is there throughout the team, making sure they're all connected, making sure they're all pulling their parts, adding to their flavor, kind of bringing out certain parts of their quality. And the rest of the teams are, your basic necessities, your lettuce, your tomatoes, your seitan for all you vegan lovers out there. Shout out. So they're probably the rest of the bulk of the ingredients. So
All right. I look forward to seeing it. It sounds like a very thick and tasty sandwich. I'm going to go ahead and let you go to be with your team, or at least be ready to watch your team. But Cup of Vice, thank you very much for being here and answering just a few questions for me.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Best of luck out there. Now, we're starting off at Lijiang Tower, and we saw Lijiang a little bit earlier in the last game between Aptix and, excuse me, wow, the name is completely escaping me right now. Between Aptix and Sinai. Yes, Sinai, can't forget them. No disrespect. But overall, it looked pretty quick, one and done. What do you think is going to be the result this time around?
I think I'm a slice of bread, and I think you are probably the other slice of bread, between which we sandwich the glory of the Overwatch, the meat, the cheese, the dressing, the accoutrement that is to befall these teams. But what I think is going to happen is I am about to debate myself, because honestly, it's been a while. Like, we talk a lot about it and we've been avoiding it. So here's what I'm going to say. We're going to see Pharah come out not only from one side, but both sides. So it's going to be a Pharmercy. And then what we're definitely going to see is a Sombra from both teams. A Pharah Sombra. And what we're not going to see is no 3-3. No team would dare play 3-3 with a skybox this big, where you can get such glorious high-level views. I mean, look at this. This is what everyone wants from the Command Center in Overwatch League. This is just, it's so perfect.
It is a pretty glorious map. Those are some bold calls given your prior history, but at least we can say this isn't debate. We can just say perhaps just a non-optimal call here, but it looks like at least you're half right with the Pharah. Freya hopping onto that Mistress of the Skies, and Blake. It's looking good. It's looking good at least on the side of Horizon here.
Come on, Horizon, baby. Talk to me, baby. Come on. But for for the Rakunyans, as I'm going to hereby call them, this is a pretty interesting comp. Lum on the McCree with otherwise 3 supports and a divey tank set. We've seen this before. It's a pretty dangerous combination. Lum on the McCree can do some serious damage.
Yeah, you're going to have to, Freya, that is going to have to be keeping particular eyes out, making sure they don't get focused down. Pretty sure that's what Lum is here for, to focus down those aerial targets, not letting them have a whole lot of free reign onto the sky. As well, the flashbang going to be very good for controlling a Hammond and Tracer.
Based on the quantity of ult charge, Lum is doing his job, and Freya goes down. There it is. Blake on the Sombra, not able to get any purchase. Klein reses Freya, dies for their sins. Bakugo goes down. Freya does find a little bit of the clapback onto Lum, but this one's definitely going to be going to the Rakunyans, who are going to take an early point gain here as Freya boldly darts onto the point to try and stop it. And despite me calling the Pharah Sombra, it's not really looking good for Horizon at the moment.
Yeah, it's looking like that may not have been the most sturdy call. I think that Blake's Sombra pick may have been in anticipation of the Hammond pick. They may have been expecting the quad or triple DPS themselves with that Hammond tuck. And really, if you have a Sombra in that mix, it can just absolutely paralyze a Hammond. But without it, it's kind of really hard to utilize to high efficiency.
Speaking of a high noon that was used solely to annihilate both the Freya and then the pickup onto Blake. So one McCree takes out both of 3.007's calls. You heard it from me, ladies and gentlemen. This is a no bueno situation for Horizon, though Chef gets off a pretty nasty boop and Bakugo finds Incipient. So with Freya's barrage coming online, maybe this is the time for a clapback.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard though, because there is it's going to be a little bit it's going to be difficult here, because Freya does have kind of this positioning kind of situation. Like where do you ult on point? Do you pull them into point and then ult? And even if you do that, they can just play around pillar. It's going to be very tough. You have to focus around the D.Va. It's certainly not going to be an easy challenge for Freya, but possible.
Wow, and opening with the rally I thought was the right idea, but Freya goes nuts! Infernal's D.Va Bomb finds them, but not before 3 members of Rakunyans goes down, and the res is there for Freya, so Horizon is back on the line. They've still got an EMP in the bank, which is a fight-winning ult, which I think they're going to need, because looking at the 4 ults coming online for Rakunyans, this is going to be a rough fight, and I would rather be the Rakunyans in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I am not happier to be proven wrong than by Freya making that Rocket Barrage look rather easy. And, you know, you have so many ults working against you. In the end, the Diva Bomb's going to be the only thing that can kind of stop you, and it doesn't even stop you that much. It drops you, but then I believe the Mercy's able to get the res anyway. So overall, a good operation of the ult there. A nice EMP coming out, but not going to be able to cancel out that sound barrier.
Yeah, the EMP goes in, but it really is just a delay of the inevitable. Actually, it prevents the Rakunyans from wasting any ults, because instead all Lum does is toss it out. The other ults come in as necessary, and with a Trans and a Primal left on the field, we're entering one-fight territory for Horizon, with Bakugo's ult being the only one really going to be able to brought to bear in any kind of recent time.
Yeah, and this is a tough spot for Bakugo, because who do you focus with this Pulse Bomb? Maybe Milo, but Lum, Rakunya are both going to have that very CC-based ability, the ability to shut you down, but he's going to get it on Rakunya.
And that is huge, with no rally, rather if it was up to be bring to bear. Klein goes down, but Hana going nuts onto the... Whoa, Jack, hang on, it's the monkey in the house, and Hana is doing their best to stall for the point, and yeah, they've got that 99, but I think we're looking at a bit of the good old Rakunyan solidification here, because boy have they made it known, this Lijiang point is theirs, and we go on to the second map.
Yeah, Jack performing very well, especially with that Primal, but at the very end, jumping over the Hammond mines, or the Wrecking Ball mines, dropping the bubble to try to clear them out, but it doesn't clear out the ones right underneath him, so he drops onto it, and it's just enough damage to get that Winston lowered to 0 HP. Luckily, it was the last fight. It wasn't going to punish them too much for it, but still, it's just a little bit of comedy.
Yeah, as far as no bueno situationos go, that's pretty much the quintessential one for Team Horizon. They're going to be switching on to a Mei-enabled triple support composition, Ryan and Zarya being the linchpins here. Meanwhile, it's going to be no Mei for the Rakunyans, who, it's, you know, they're going to have the Diva Bomb to get in there, but I feel like Blake is going to have a bit of the advantage here unless they get focused down a little too quickly.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to how Blake can use those walls, and if the team can follow up after the separation has occurred. As we see, Jack going to be separated, however the rest of the team going to be able to wrap around and meet him. The capitalization not quite there.
Ah, and there it is, the wall not doing enough work. But both Rhines going down means that it's up to the rest of the players and their mechanics, and Lum taking out Freya is going to be the big one here. Milo finds Chef, and it's looking very good for the Rakunyans. No one on the point to collect, though, which means that the spawns coming back from Horizon are going to have a little chance to stabilize before too much point percentage is generated.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily feel too punished by that if you are the Rakunyans, once again on the right. It's... You know, you're still going to get it. You don't have to worry about that as long as, you know, you have people just coming in, stepping on the point. A big slam coming through.
Gets 3, and a lot of deaths coming out of that one. Jack and Lum going nuts. Rakuna finds one. Infernal finishes off Blake. It's a team kill. But now we're looking at a bit of the ult fight, as both teams coming online with a truckload of them. Rakuna having tossed the rally. That armor will be around for this next fight, so a little bit more sustain as well.
Yeah, Blake going to be looking to use this Mei ult, I anticipate. Going to have to be playing around Infernal. And Infernal, as I say that, eats the Blizzard.
Wow, the Diva Bomb goes out from Infernal. It doesn't get anyone, but the damage is done. Infernal had to have been waiting for that. They definitely sat on that bomb, knowing that Blake was going to be leading into that fight, possibly even suspecting that Freya had the grav, so maybe the defense matrix was just going and ready. Hana finds Jack, though, so here's a turnaround huge slam again!
Yeah, that slam itself going to be taking down Incipient, but the follow-up is sure to come. There's only 3 members left, and the grab from Freya may be a little bit superfluous, but it's still going to be used to clean up Rakuna.
Yeah, it's as far as one fights go, that was pretty solid. A grav to catch one person, these days good times. Grav to finish off a fight like that, maybe not your best option, as Jack now comes in with a 2-person slam, catches Blake, goes for some hammers to finish it off, and it looks like Horizon is going to finish this fight, but man, if I were them, I'd sure wish I had a grav.
Yeah, I mean, as you're looking at Horizon right now, they are so close to capping it. They are literally like 5% from capping it, but there's just so much rotation coming through from the Rakunyans. It's looking great for their stall potential right now.
and the glory of King of the Hill, meaning that if even it doesn't matter how much your percentage has, who's on the point, you're generating it if you control. Lum finding Bakugo again, not looking good right now for Horizon, and it looks like we might be, but another shatter comes in. This one gets 4, and there's the cleanup that Horizon needed. The flip comes in, but the 99 percentile has been achieved.
Yeah, and, you know, even if you're the Rakunyans and you lose that point, you're not feeling too bad, because what this means is now you have to take it off of what is basically going to be dry pushes for both teams. You want to win this, though, quickly before Freya gets that grab, and you can start seeing the snowball come into effect. Once that Zarya pops that grab, the Ryan can swing into it, start building a lot of ult charge, but it's not going to happen right now.
So Jack throws out the Shatter and gets immediately killed by Hana, who had thrown that Fire Strike out before they go down. It's pretty much equal on both sides, except actually now we're looking at Team Horizon picking up the majority of the good kills with Freya, whose energy has yet to abate and is looking very tasty. Jack may be coming back to this fight a little too quickly, going to take some damage. They are going to escape, but it's looking very good now, with both teams going to get ults, but Freya's the one holding the graph.
Yeah, ideally you wanted to try to get the grab out of Freya in that situation, but they didn't have to invest grab, and honestly, we can see Freya positioning right now to try to catch the Rakunyans off guard from behind. Gonna get caught out, though.
The grab does go in, the trans is there to match it, and no, it looks like someone has dropped from the game. Auto pause has come into effect. Who is the lucky individual who is gonna have all of their ult charge completely obliterated?
Yeah, ideally, there's no ideal here. It's gonna be tough because everybody here is over halfway to their ult charge. May have just been a mispress from the game runner there. The admin does have the option to kind of pause the game, but it looks like actually the Bakugo is going to be the one who has the disconnect here. And, you know, in terms of ultimate charge, that's the person who's going to be losing the least. You still don't want to be losing 50% of your Brig rally. That is still very painful. But,
For sure.
you know, it's especially crucial because Team Horizon needs to hold this. And if Bakugo has to walk back from spawn, that means they're immediately down 5 to 6. But we haven't seen Bakugo drop out yet, so they may be able to stay in the same spot. They may be able to just basically respawn where they are now. And we'll see if they're lucky enough to get that.
That's some luck right there. Yeah, it's unsure as what we're going to be seeing. The pause is coming undone, and there it is. Bakugo does stay. They actually get some follow-up charge because apparently they were swinging for the hills. But they also, of course, immediately die because Jack has a Rocket Hammer, and Rocket Hammer beats Rocket Mace. The Shatter also goes out, and Jack is going crazy. Rakuna finds the big kill as well. The Diva Bomb goes in. It gets no one. Infernal actually is going to find Chef on their way down. And Horizon not looking good. The point is going to be flipping, and it's going to be difficult for them to contest at this point.
Yeah, it will have to be literally anybody getting onto point for Team Horizon. The Tracer coming out from Freya just to get there a little bit faster. Klein also going to be dropping the beat, and that is a painful bomb for Freya.
Yeah, Freya having switched onto the Tracer to get back onto the point long enough, but now the kill's coming in big. Klein on the Lucio does his best to stall. It's not going to happen. Jake is going to get completely annihilated, and the Lijiang Tower going to be going to SK Rakunyans.
Yeah, and man, that was that was very good from the Rakunyans that we saw so far. I think that they were, it especially came to point when they were able to hold basically like 25% on their second to last, or on their last hold, their second to last, I guess, point possession. But they held out to get that 99, making it a one fight necessary game. And after that, you can take your time. You can be a little bit more methodical with things because you know you just have to win one and it's yours.
Yep, point presence for realsies, and that's the stall to 99 when you go from 0 to 99 that you get to take advantage of. Again, King of the Hill be in that situation, unlike every other map type, which I'm sure this led to a lot of balance discussions back at Blizzard HQ. But the idea that in King of the Hill, doesn't matter who's contesting, as long as you have control of the point, you're pretty much in it to win it, and you're going to generate that percentage as long as that second ticks, and you've got it.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that for the sake of our players, we can be a little bit appreciative of that. It would take forever if these games only had the point tick up when there was no opposing enemies on it. That would just be a slugfest of epic proportions. It would take hours to finish one standard 3 rotation CP map.
Yeah, and again, that's probably where the balance comes in. One, it would literally take 5 ever to finish that kind of situation. So, blessed be that as much over as I like Overwatch, we're still going to see that map conclude in the 2 that it takes. So, Rakunyans looking good. It's going to be a ban from them as we look to Team Horizon to select the map eventually, and eventually also ban a map.
Yeah, and right now I think both teams looking kind of a good. Horizon perhaps leaving a little bit more to be desired, but that being said, they may be piling a little bit to kind of fight back against that 3-2 that we saw them suffer from last week or the week before.
But with the ban coming out onto Horizon Lunar Colony, it means that this Monday night will once again pass without any Horizon Lunar Colony coming to the fray. I'm sorry, Sir Waltham. I know you.
That's okay. I've gotten used to it by now. 3, but luckily we do get to see some Hanamura, so we are not out of the May zone quite yet. We know that May. And that first point, as we always mention, very good for holding that choke point down, locking it down with those ice blocks. And, you know, I think that the first time we saw the May come out, it wasn't really that effective. I believe it was Horizon who tried to use the May, but they set the wall up and the Rakunyans just went absolutely around it. They didn't quite have the full cutoff that was necessary.
That seemed to have been the case, and yeah, the May didn't really stick around for long, especially when the EAT, the particular defense matrix good stuff happened. So the Rakunyans now get to save the hero and pick their map side for this event. They're going to start Hanamura on defense, which I can't honestly blame them at all in the slightest. That lets them really decide if they could get the full... Excuse me, if they can get the full hold off, then it's going to be good times. They're going to save D.Va. So whatever it's going to be that May ult eating potential that is going to be present and accounted for on both sides.
Yeah, the Baptiste also going to be looking like it's banned from Team Horizon. So an interesting choice there. They may be wanting to try to get rid of the New Age bunker comps, as I'm calling them, to kind of go against what they may have practiced. You know, Baptiste bunker comps, yeah, they're very new. A lot of teams have issues kind of running new stuff, but it's even worse when you're going up against something new and you have prepared for it 0%. So I think that they may be trying to kind of nip that in the bud. They may not like bunker comps in general, which I gotta admit, bunker comps can feel supremely oppressive. So I don't blame them one bit.
Yeah, and especially with Baptiste having, again, just so much to bring to the bunker comp table, it's frankly kind of disgusting. Immortality field of regeneration, his just A effect healing that does not actually get hacked by Sombra, for example. He can still dish out that secondary fire, which is interesting. So yeah, it's gonna be Rakunyans starting out on defense here, and I'm curious how they're so denied Baptiste. I would still say that bunker's still a valid option.
It certainly is. We know that the Hog, Orisa, Bastion, Mercy style gameplay can be very reliable. That much hasn't changed. It's just that when you have that Baptiste, you know you're going to get at least a little bit more life uptime than you might be able to with an Ana or a Zen or something along those lines. Now, barring he doesn't have a great defensive ult, but if you're comboing in a bunker style, that massive damage output can certainly be enough. Although it looks like both teams kind of lining up for the classic 3-3 Zen style.
That tracks. As far as Hanamura goes, you know, I don't feel that either of these teams would really detract from this. What I find is surprising, though, is given this Reinhardt matchup, I don't know. I feel like Jack got the better of that duel, so to speak, and I think it's going to be tricky for, of all maps, Hanamura, for Horizon to be able to bust through here.
Yeah, and speaking of tricky maneuvers, we're going to be seeing Jack looking like he's setting up to get the inward pin as it is. So he's going to be stationed up in this little ramen bar area, ready to pin somebody through the choke as soon as he gets the option. He's going to go, lands onto Bakugo, nice pin.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And again, it's pretty crazy, but both Brigida's actually going down. Big source of sustain gone for both sides. So now can the damage come through? And yes, it does. Milo finds Hana, so that's a big 2000 HP shield gone for the attack. They're probably going to be trying to stabilize here, eliminate any staggers as possible, though, frankly, Blake taking their life into their own hands here, sticking around.
Yeah, and honestly, you talk about how Brig you lose a lot of life-sustaining capabilities here, yes, but you also lose the burst healing that comes through from Brig, and that can be one of her biggest assets. You get somebody burst down very suddenly, she can bring them right back up to, I believe, 200, 250 HP.
Yeah, it's crazy, and the attack is going to make that very abundantly clear as Hana leads the charge, rather, so to speak, finishing off Infernal's Diva. They're going to take this point with nary so much as a how do you do. Very definitively, so there you go. That's going to be it. That puts Threepwood right in his place, and now we're going to be looking at a 6 minute and 45 second take on point B or hold on point B, depending on your perspective.
Yeah, but it's not looking too unfavorable for the Rakunyans here. Once again, now on the left, they are going to be having 5 ults online, as Infernal's going to be popping that Diva Bomb online. And, ooh, Incipient taking a nice beefy pin, but Hana also going to be feeding a little bit of ult charge to the remaining members.
I don't hate seeing a Reinhardt get a charge off like that because it just makes me so happy when it actually connects. It's like this little feeling of joy. On the other hand, however, that's a stagger that, you know, you don't necessarily like, but you can certainly afford because good lord do they have a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, both teams also have a lot of ults, so resources abound, not just the combat-based resources, but also time. Time is perhaps one of the most important resources. Blake eating a resource, however, taking a grab from Lum.
Yeah, that's a no bueno situation for the attack, but huge! What a bomb! Infernal goes crazy!
Yeah, that was beefy, taking out a large number of the attacking team. It's just going to be Freya standing up from the looks of it, and man, that is fundamental Diva play. You love to see it, but looking towards the Rakunyans' defense now, they're not going to have any ults. They did go through all 5 or 6 of them, just trying to hold that point last time. There will still be the Shatter and the Rally on the line. And we're going to be seeing Infernal drop. That's going to be a knock onto the Rakunyans. Luckily, they will have the spawn advantage. They're going to be losing a little bit of ult charge moving forward.
I mean, to be fair, if I had just dropped a 3k Diva Bomb like that, I would actually just... I'm not saying it's been done, but like maybe you just uninstall, and you're just like, you know what, I'm done. That in a tournament match, that's as good as it gets. So you know what, GG guys, like I had my fun, but like I'm out.
Yeah, it looks like Infernal's gameplay was so fire that it's going to be lighting their computer up, and it looks like a crash is going to be happening for the time, or for that at the current moment. But we're working on getting them back as soon as possible so we can get that hot, spicy Overwatch action back online. But overall, I think this is the most GOATS-esque style play we've seen on Hanamura, at least during the month of April.
Yeah, it's pretty spicy so far, and honestly, 3-3, thank God, is starting to take the route of the comps that you don't see too often, but one of the things that I think has been coming out of the most recent patch so far is the fact that 3-3 is still a very viable comp, and it is very situational now, or rather, map-awational. Sorry, I can't let that slide, even though I was the one who said it. So, but that being said, it still has its place, and certain maps lend itself very much so to that particular style of play, as we're seeing right now.
Yeah, a nice collapse coming through from the Rakunyans onto Bakugo, and again, Rakunyans looking dominant in this defense so far.
Jack once again. So I'm really super pumped by the Reinhardt play coming out from both sides. Hana is demonstrating that 3.007 is a butthead and shouldn't talk about Rein play when he hasn't even placed in a couple seasons now. And I'm really super digging the ult economy that's coming out. Defense is really skirting the edge here, but Rakunyans are going to have at least a trans and definitely a shatter and a rally for this follow-up fight. Meanwhile, the offense has a lot of stuff to work with, and they're going to be pulling it out first with a rally on the defense, and there's the counter rally, and the shatter comes out of the defense. It's huge!
Yeah, that is a 5-man shatter. That is a Largo, mi amigo. But that being said, they're still going to get, Team Horizon is still going to get progress. They still have 40% on the board. It looked like Rakunyans were just a little too slow stepping on the point to contest. They are going to be giving up that first tick.
Yes, they are, and as far as Hanamura goes, that's actually kind of huge, because when you don't take Hanamura point, or you don't even get the first tick, it becomes an unwinnable situation for you, especially if you can't get off that full hold yourself. However, getting even just a little progress means that you are capable of winning the map.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're about to see it here. Lum popping this grab, and in response, we're going to see a lot of ults come out. Love it. Ooh.
Oh, I love it. The shatter goes in, Freya goes down, Hana follows, or strike that and reverse it. Thank you. Chef is down, Bakugo is here. Defense once again demonstrating that ult rotation is definitively one of their fortes.
Yeah, and Horizon right now not necessarily able to use a whole lot of ults of their own. They're getting killed in such an efficient fashion that they're not really building them up too quickly. Blake going to be having Diva Bomb online soon, but it looks like they're even hesitant to use what they have on the board. I anticipate that if we see them get on the point, we'll see the sound barrier, maybe the Zarya grab to lock into place. And there we go with the Lucio beat.
Yeah, stuns for days, and the attack is definitely looking for blood. The ults for fail, hella days, and the bomb does get jacked. So here we go. Now it's Team Horizon going crazy. The shatter comes out as well from Hana, finds two. Rakunyans goes down, but Incipient is going to grab Chef before all said and done. That's not really going to matter too much, though, as the Horizon is going absolutely insane.
Yeah, a nice pin from Jack. We'll see if it is enough. Oh, Jack actually gets the hammer down interrupted. That's going to be costly when we talk about ult charge.
Yump, 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 and wham bam, thank you, ma'am, though. With the spawn advantage being what it is, Inferno's actually doing not necessarily an insignificant amount of damage with that Baby Diva, and together with a switch from Rakuna onto Doomfist, they're gonna force Horizon away. But again, Horizon still has 2 minutes left, and now with the second tick and a bit acquired, it's looking very likely that Horizon will be able to push this through.
Yeah, I gotta admit, we don't see it a lot lately. Usually we see a Mei instead of it, but I like the Doomfist coming out for stall. You know, usually you get the Mei to just burn time off, but the Doomfist has a lot of immediate punch, literal punch potential. You can just do so much damage in such a short amount of time. The Invest Stall's cooldown is a 1 hero. If that's a squishy hero, such as a Reaper or a McCree or a Tracer especially, it can just deal some massive damage that can really start to tip the fight when kills become so important on defense.
It's critically important. And speaking of critically important, the attack gets a big shatter, but instead of the kills racking up for Horizon, it's actually going to be the other way around. The Rakunyans demonstrating again that they are not down and out for the count, but fortunately for Horizon, they still have a minute and a bit left, and every ult that is committed by the Rakunyans is good times for the Horizon.
Yeah, it was kind of funny if you saw Inferno there on that Diva. They popped the Diva self-destruct, and they got out in the Baby Blaster form, and then just gunned down Chef with the Baby Blaster. They didn't even let the self-destruct clear out that Zenyatta. They're just going to do it themselves, getting their hands dirty a little bit. Maybe not as necessary considering the rest of their team was pushed up. Could have let the ult charge be shared all around, but that's kind of a minor critique moving forward. You still like to see that kind of style when it comes to the Baby Diva.
Yeah, right? Like, it's all very nice. Like, look, just because Baby Diva add on mech don't mean that Baby Diva can't do some Baby Diva damage. And with the offense, this is the 30-second timer announced. So this is probably their final push. Jack comes in with a shatter. It doesn't get anyone, but Jack does get stunned. The grabs are out from both sides with Rallies having some fun. And it's gonna be trades from both sides. Both Lucios go down. The bombs find no one. And so the damage is now going to be on the emphasis of the attack, but instead it's still going to be a trade. Both Reinhardt's going down on the point, but a trans on defense means that Freya is going to be the one to go down next. Discord being squarely in that side, and the team, the Rakunyans rather defense will hold. It is overtime. Klein is not going to touch. That's going to be it.
Yeah, that was a very close round. We saw about 90.5% on the final ticker there, meaning that it will be on to Team Rakunyans now to be getting quite a bit of point progress on the second point. Of course, before that happens, we're going to have to talk about how they're going to have to get through first point. And honestly, I don't anticipate that this is going to be too much of a problem. I mean, I might be surprised here. They looked pretty dominant at getting their points when it came to King of the Hill maps. Don't know if they're going to be able to play this as efficiently, considering this is just one giant choke instead of a little bit more tunnely, snake-like patterns where you can kind of go in multiple different directions. But that being said, most of the teams we see here complete first point, and after that we can start worrying about second point.
Yeah, speaking of second point, it's not going to have a Well, rather, if point A does not get captured, we don't even get to worry about second point. So it's going to be very much so up to Team Horizon to determine the flow of this, having set the pace, which, as Sir Waltham mentioned, while they did not capture point B, they sure as hell got damn near close to it. That's plenty to win Hanamura, but it does depend entirely on their defenses.
Yeah, and we talk about pacing and things like that. This first point is going to really set the pacing because, if you finish the first point as quickly as Team Horizon did, you're going to have quite a lot of time to kind of get it tick by tick. But if you finish it, in overtime at first point, then you're only going to have about 3-4 minutes to get it done after that fact. So you'd like to have as much time as possible on the bank. We'll see if Rakunyans can get it done.
Yeah, so the Rakunyans charging right in. Hana looking not so good. Bakugo gets the charge by Jack. He goes down, and it's not looking good for, rather, the Team Horizon. Hana is defending alone on the point. They get the hack from Infernal. It's not going to be long for the world. Lum finds Freya, but Lum does go down immediately after. Hana, however, immediately following. The tick is in. The kill count is in. This is pretty much just going to be Rakunyans planning their extensively long attack on point B.
Yeah, and quite a few ults going to be online for them, so perhaps more of the possibility of an ult snowball effect here going to be moving forward. They have the Earth Shatter, they have the Transcendence, they might have the Rally moving forward if they're able to just get Rakunya to heal up a few more points of damage, which it looks like they will. And then if the fight goes on long enough, Infernal going to have that EMP to kind of stall out the abilities from the defending team, which they're going to have to be playing really careful right now to not get hacked.
Oh, wow, and there it is. A huge slam goes in. No follow-up is there. The trans actually does get actuated, but the hack also following up with 4. That's big. Freya, Hana go down. That's no Ryan, no Zarya, and that's going to be huge. A spawn advantage is massive, but losing those 2 heroes early on is not good.
Yeah, absolutely. Bakugo's going to be trying to bring out that rally just for a little bit of sustained, and it's going to be sustaining indeed. Diva Bomb coming out. We'll see if it finds anything. Nope, not quite.
Oh, the hack! The hack is in as Hana throws out the shatter. It doesn't land, doesn't get anyone. But now a defense is starting to solidify. And hilariously, there's not going to be, or not hilariously, magnificently from the defense side, there's no tick generated.
Yeah, that was looking so good for the Rakunyans. However, they walk away from that using a load of ultimates. In fact, I believe it was 2 EMPs, a Grav, an Earth Shatter or 2. And to not get anything for it, that smarts a little bit.
Massive, absolutely massive. So there you have it. The kills are in, the results have been tallied. Rakuna even switched onto a Soldier 76 to get back on the point quickly to try and make something happen. No tick, 5.5 minutes. 1 Grav per side, though Klein is looking very close to his fire and my lasers, and Bakugo's going to have rally way before Rakuna will.
Yeah, Inferno going to be switching onto the Diva instead of the Sombra. I kind of like that. When we saw the hack come out from Inferno, it felt like the focus fire just wasn't quite there from the team. So you may as well go for something that has a little bit more of a defensive capability and able to really put the pressure where it's needed. Klein getting some massive kills.
And Hana following up thanks to that Grav from Lum, who made it so that when you fire your lasers into a Grav, you know you're going to have a good time. And you don't need no mercy to boost that. That's just sheer unblockable. Shields need not apply damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking forward, it is only going to be Blake and Hana with their ults up on the defensive side, but we certainly know that that is not a game ender for this defensive team here. A lot can be done when you get the Shatter and Diva Bomb combo. In fact, you can throw the Diva Bomb in front, make the Ryan have to rotate his shield, shatter him from behind, and get a bunch of kills that way. You can really make these 2 combos work for you. It's just how they're going to play around the other ults coming out from the offense.
Speaking of the ults coming out from the offense, we're going to be starting with a barriers. So there's the Shatter. It goes in, it catches no one. But that's going to be also going right into barriers. But Incipient finds Freya. Chef goes down as well. Again, we're looking at a very solid offense coming in. But the Diva Bomb also comes with no one. So here again, Rakunyans looking very good. But it's all about the ticks. Can they get the progress? And yes, there it is. Halfway. They get the 66 2/3. And now it's a contest again with the Maywall coming in. Stall is real. Freya, cold as ice on the point. But they do live long enough to even make it out. And unbelievable.
Ooh. Yeah, a lot of kills coming through here. I liked that bubble from Lum. I believe it was onto Jack that stopped that hammer from really getting any purchase. And it is looking very good for the Rakunyans right now. They're just getting free ult charge, and they are 10% away.
Yeah, Blake now also switching onto the Hammond, gets the Discord. He's not having a good time. The Reinhardt pushes it away, but Hana dies for their sins. The audacity. And once again, Freya's back on the point. They're going to get charged almost immediately. Well done with the timing there on Jack. And Rakunyans finish out the point. They find that percentage that had been generated. Well done on both sides. What a tenacious defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Tenacious D indeed. That being said, that means that the onus will be on to, excuse me, the Rakunyans to have a banned map, if I'm not mistaken, or excuse me, it's going to be on the Rakunyans to, I'm trying to get my map play straight here, to ban the map, and then the Horizon will be choosing the map. Okay, I did get it right. I'm losing my marbles right now, 3.
I trust you. You got it, man. You got it. But
there
yes,
we go.
Sir,
Yes, the
Sir
call for the Rakunyans going to be going to the banned map.
Sir Waltham is 100% correct. So having just played Control, that is going to be a map that we're not going to be seeing again, at least until the match point differential has been overcome, because right now, Team Horizon is fighting for their life. And again, it's not super bad. They've been showing some really incredible play overall. So, is this a super bad situation? Yes. But Team Horizon, tough team, and they've been playing very well. Hanamura, rough map, Lijiang Tower also showing some really good solid stuff. This is their opportunity to come back. They're not only going to be able to pick the map, they're going to be able to ban a hero that they think is going to really super impact the Rakunyans, and I think there are a couple really solid options they can go with.
Yeah, indeed. I think that Horizon, I mean, obviously this needs to be the map they turn it around if they want to continue into the main bracket. And we've seen Horizon turn it around before. I always love to talk about that slugfest we had between them and Mach 3. They took it 2-3, and that was against a higher rated team. So I'm kind of curious to see how Horizon's going to slug back against the Rakunyans. But honestly, I was expecting a little bit more even of a match going forward, and I'm a little bit disappointed we haven't seen that. I think it's well within Horizon's capabilities to pull it out, so I'm really asking them to make this a competitive game.
What we've seen from Horizon before indicates that they are absolutely capable of bringing the pain, but right now it seems like all they're doing is feeling it. So yeah, this could be the tipping point for them. I feel like this is the moment where they're really gonna have to come back and make it so. And with the ban coming on to Busan, as far as Team Horizon's play has been, I don't think that's really a bad ban for them. The 3-3 matchup hasn't been necessarily going in their favor so far, so eliminating such a huge 3-3 map, I feel like that actually kind of works for them.
Yeah, I definitely am inclined to agree. Horizon, I think, needs to kind of favor the unconventional here. I was gonna say maybe Junkertown, maybe Gibraltar, Dive, Pirate Ship. Just something that you get kind of away from those triple comps. But they're going to be going Ilios. And we talk about it all the time whenever it comes up. 3 Ilios, a lot of different composition possibilities here.
Yeah. And Ilios with Ruins. It's been a while since I saw Horizon play. And I think it's been a while since Horizon maybe have, been in the limelight. Is it possible that they have some new compositions, some new mechanical skills? Maybe someone's flexed onto something super fun that we're going to see. Maybe there's a new Widowmaker ace on the team. This could be huge for them. But also Rakunyans, I've literally never seen them before. And what comes out on Ilios, you know what they say about Ilios. What happens on Ilios is completely dependent on the actual map you're playing.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think we've seen either of these teams play Wrecking Ball before, and that's even something I would say, hey, if you're playing on Ruins and you really need to deal with snipers that are being really oppressive, that might be something to keep an eye out for. But I'm just looking forward to something that's not as ground poundy, maybe a little bit divey. If we go to, I believe it's Well, then I hope we're going to be seeing some Orisa play with the Hog, maybe a Pharah, Lucio, the standard boop comp that we were talking about last game between our last two teams. I'm slowly losing more and more of my memory as we go along here, but we're still waiting on the hero bans. D.Va's going to be one to be saved, however, so still going to have the capabilities to eat a lot of those grabs, and to my disappointment, Widow going to be banned, meaning Ruins a little less mechanical now.
Oh, wait. No? It looks like Regis says, hold on, the final answer hasn't been tallied. Team Horizon may actually be banning McCree, which I am less sad about.
Yes, I have to agree.
Because what we love to see is that Widowmaker dually action. And I think that is their final answer. So, yeah, I think we're good. So, with that being said, that means we have the potential. So, that actually is kind of a humongous tell, right? Because if they were like, Widowmaker, actually, wait, hang on a second, maybe we actually would have banned someone else. So, I think what we're going to see is either some Widowmaker duel, or that was literally the greatest mind game in history.
Either way, I think of both of these teams not going to be changing up their plans too much, especially when it comes to Ruins. More of the technical side of the map here. But we're going to be hopping on to Well first, kind of my favorite. It's kind of a tie between Well and Ruins, actually, if I'm being honest. If we see Well run with a Hog Orisa, then I tend to like that a little bit more. And we see Pharah on it a little bit more, just because Widow is not as advantageous. And the Skybox, pretty tall out here in the lovely skies of Ilias.
So it turns out that when you can go high in the sky, you can kill lots of people from high in the sky without facing a lot of repercussion. Unless, of course, there's another Pharah hanging around dogfighting with you, which means if you pay attention to the people on the ground, odds are they're going to take advantage of your predictable tracking and they're going to make you regret it. So, with that being said, the Pharah play, pulled pork being a little more consistent, Pharah not so much, and I think, okay, fine. You guys got me. Horizon, you fooled me good, and, well, all right, fine. You know what, Rakunyans? Yeah, there you go. Get off that Torbjorn. I'm better than that now.
Worth noting, both sides neither going to be running a Roadhog, only the Horizon, who is now on the left side, going to be running the Pharah, and then the dive tank triple coming through for the Rakunyans. Curious here, we don't see a whole lot of that on this map, just because there's a lot of opportunities to kind of miss the dive and fall to your death.
Yep, and Hana being on the Orisa again is even kind of risky. There's not a lot of bunker to really help them survive. Bakugo goes down immediately. That was probably one of the sources of burst damage that they were hoping to keep everyone alive. But Chef and Klein following immediately after, two very valuable supports, literally the only supports. I'm actually amazed that Hana survived as long as they did with the blistering attack from the Rakunyans.
Yeah, speaking of survival, Freya going to be barely getting out of there with something around 15 HP. And, not a lot of ult charge being built either way for either team. Now that we're seeing the swaps come out, it's definitely going to be going in favor of Rakunyans for ult percentage, just because Horizon lost a lot of ult charge, switching Freya, switching Hana, switching Bakugo, and switching Klein.
Yeah, and it's the best, the worst, the lesser of the two evils, so to speak, is what you're going for here. Horizon made a judgment call and they made it so. The next fight is going to be huge if that actually is going to come through for them. And with the damage that they're doing, it's looking very good, but Incipient, despite getting so low, is going to get out of there alive, and a Primal Rage gets activated by Jack just to make it a little more difficult, and also a Rally, contributing even more sustain. Incipient still holding onto that trance, but this means more ults generated for Horizon.
Yeah, absolutely, and ults can definitely be the name of the game, and we're going to be seeing a lot come out here. We're seeing the Rally, we're seeing the D.Va Bomb, which is actually going to get some kills, and ults going everywhere at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty much an ult apocalypse, an ult fiesta, if you will. Both trains is going out. There's the Hana now going on with the Primal, but Freya's still holding on to that Grav. They've got a solid option, but that's a lot of point percentage for Rakunyans, and that's not looking good, though.
Yeah, Lum getting booped off the map is a little bit crucial. Zarya, especially that DPS character, in this triple style. And you don't like to lose it. Not only do you lose your heavy damage dealer, but they're not building up ult charge. And when you have one of the slowest building ults in the game in your kit, you want to be building up ult charge at every turn.
Stupendously correct. Chef going to be serving up a boop fantastic dish out here with a double, I guess the 2.5 kill, getting the D.Va into the, that rare instance of their boost is down, so whenever boot goes in, that's a not good times. So the point has switched, the grav is in, can the damage make it a one fight? The answer is yes. Horizon finds Jack Raccoon and the D-Mech onto Infernal, so it's going to be a point held for Horizon. They even have the ult economy to match.
Yeah, and one thing worth noting, I really like the way Hannah is playing this Winston. They're jumping behind, or jumping right into the midsection during a retreat, sectioning off whoever's caught in the middle. So in that instance, I believe it was Incipient, they jumped, blocked Incipient from being able to leave, and just tasered them and had the team really kind of focus down Incipient, meaning that another member gets lost, another member has to wait for respawn, and you're just losing resources while you're waiting for that to happen.
So if it's a thing that Winston makes, do we call it a Winstance? In any event, the barrier's going in. Milo drops it. Jack, finding his Winstance, throws out his Primal Rage. The grav is there to back it up, and instead it's a D.Va Bomb that finds actually nothing. The trans is also there. No kills for either team yet, and it's an all-out brawl. No team really able to generate any kind of staying power until Freya finds Jack. So there it is, the team holding the point is probably going to be keeping this point unless something majorly drastic happens. Racuna has the rally out, generating a lot of armor, but bam! The Racuna finds Freya, but Hana and Blake going in on Infernal, double teaming the D.Va to take it out, and then Milo with the clap back, the boot back.
The boop back indeed. We're seeing a lot of kills go in favor of the Rakunyans, however they're not quite able to maintain point presence. A lot of rotation coming here from Horizon. It's really kind of what you need when you're so close to getting that one fight territory, which they are now, but still it's risky given how close both teams are to winning this round.
Oh, Chef dying here was bad. The glory of Horizon's positioning here right now was the ults and the fact that they only needed one fight to win it. So they're gonna take this fight for sure. But the question is, can they get back to the point in time? Yes, it looks like there are gonna be on contest. So the kills now coming in from the Rakunyans is gonna be huge. Blake getting D-Mexed, not good. Freya getting booped, also not really super awesome.
Yeah, you really have to be careful of Milo. We've seen Milo love to play these walls, these angles, love to get those boops into the giant well that this map is known for. And really, I think we've seen 2, 3, 4 kills come through from this player, and you just cannot let that keep happening.
Yeah, the point has actually been flipped at this point. Horizon has lost it, but they have not lost their kill advantage. But there it is! Lum grabs Chef, and Freya actually getting grabbed. Solo grabbed by Lum, they go down. So Rakunyan's gonna keep the point, gonna take it because there's no one left to contest.
Yeah, Blake doing a little bit of work to focus down Incipient, but in that amount of time gets off point and then surrenders it because, nobody was on it. And that's an instance that probably wouldn't have changed the game if they had stayed on point any longer. But it's one of those things where it's like you can still probably try to build good habits moving forward of just not leaving the point when it's that do or die type situation.
And arguably Horizon had that locked up. They had everything going for them in that particular situation. I am genuinely surprised that they actually ended up losing that particular round. And so on Lighthouse, this is going to be their big opportunity to come back, and I think they're going to be coming back with a vengeance. Though Lum on a Soldier 76, that's going to be interesting. I think they're anticipating that Pharah coming back out.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why we didn't see them, or that's why we saw the McCree get banned, is because there may have been some anticipation of some Pharah play. Doesn't look like it will come to bear necessarily, but a lot of charge going to be going into Team Horizon's Zarya so far, and we're seeing them take an early position on the point because of that.
Yeah, and the damage coming out onto Jack is not looking good, and Freya finding Racuna very early means that the Sane is no good. Klein, though, going down massive. Jack, however, even better. And with the point flipping over to Horizon, I think we can definitively say their positioning and their target choice is speaking for itself as they begin to build that glorious percentage.
Yeah, and we're going to see them slowly start to trickle feed some of that ultimate down onto their side of the scoreboard. Not a lot of ults leading in their favor, though. Lum at a meager 2% so far on that Zarya. Looks like it was just a swap, however. And really nobody having any ults to speak of. Not going to... it's going to be a little bit more fundamental for these next few fights.
Yeah, very surprising, honestly. Freya. See, this is what happens when you let the Zarya build up way too much charge. And honestly, like, they don't even have, like, really all that much charge. You typically expect them to maintain about, like, a 70 or 80, especially in the post-fight. But they're even gonna get some staggers going in. A quick armor pack is gonna save Milo from ultimate destruction. But Horizon is approaching the big 6 with 50% of their point taken.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough nut to crack for the Rakunyans. And, you know, if they take it here, they've won an easy 3-game series, I believe. But that means they have to take 2 in a row. Or they have to win 1 map now after that second win on Well. And that's kind of a feat.
That is, and also that is not the kill feed you would expect to see with the ult advantage that Horizon had, but it looks like a nano from Klein and a little quick shatter is going to save it a bit. Klein does die for the audacity of shooting off their nano, but Chef and Bakugo going to find the kills necessary. Hana's death not going to stymie Horizon's progress. They're looking very good, building up to their 100, or at least their 99%. Rakuna and Milo with a Lum Grav. It might be a point flip, but this is looking very good for Horizon right now.
Yeah, Jack playing that a little bit careless. They jumped in way earlier than they had to. Not even going to be able to be contest worthy at such an early time. Speaking of contest, we're going to be hopping into overtime. But Horizon are holding firmly onto this point the entirety of this round so far.
I want to emphasize that Hana's trade with Lum there, charging them off the map, is not necessarily the trade that I would have liked, because Infernal's Bomb going onto the point means that everyone has to scramble, and that means Incipient gets to go headhunting, finds Blake before they can remac. This is probably going to be a trade, unless we can see some kills coming in from Horizon. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, we'll see one come through from Freya, but not quite what is necessary. And now, though, we're still looking at what is a grim hold here coming through for the Rakunyans. They are going to have to hold with basically 4 ults online. It's not that bad, but it's just something they're going to have to be very conscious of. We always talk about how if you have no room for error, you have to be really efficient about using your ults. You can't just throw them out willy-nilly and say, oh, well, we'll charge the next one in a couple fights. It has to be this fight every time.
Speaking of which, Lum with the grab. Freya also coming online. The shatter goes out. It gets 3. That's big. And Freya, oh no, Infernal eats Freya's grab. That's massive. Lum also tosses out their own grab, and so it is going to be Rakunyans taking this fight. Blake finding Lum, but the kills are going to be way too much in favor of the Rakunyans.
Yeah, both Zarya's not looking like they're able to find a whole lot with their grabs. Of course, one eaten, one kind of whiffed. It's just kind of a little bit of a shame. Both teams had some really strong opportunities to capitalize on those fight wins, and it just kind of petered out, it seemed, from both sides until it was going to be Horizon just kind of backing up and say, you know what, we're just going to try this again.
Yep, speaking of which, make sure your MVP vote is heard in the poll below the stream as we look into a pretty major fight, and Incipient starts it off finding Bakugo's head. Brigitte is down, and the barrier's now going to be keeping them up much longer, and the bomb even finding Klein. Hammer goes down, finds a bunch, but it's still going to be major good times for the Rakunyans. Hana does grab Incipient, Chef boobs Jack into oblivion, but the point doesn't flip, and that's kind of what you needed to have happen.
Interesting here. I'm seeing the Baptiste be rolled out at such a late point. Usually we'll see him used for maybe a little bit more defensive of a style. And to see him now on a situation where they have to basically push into the point, I'm curious if they're going to throw the immortality lamp into the point and then try to hold it from there. Very interesting.
Yep, Jack getting charged in there. Klein's immortality field is down and spent. Jack looking at half health, his bubble is down, not looking good. Blake does find Lum, so that's huge. It's definitely one fight territory, and the Horizon is looking very good with a kill onto Incipient. No more, and the D-Mech as well. Massive. Rakuna shows the rally, but they get charged into oblivion, and the amplification matrix is already here as Hana swings the hammer. But Jack, what in the hell?
Yeah, getting a double with the Primal not going to be enough. We're going to take it 1-1 for this game, meaning we will be going to Ruins, and boy, howdy, am I excited for that.
Maximum Overwatch is best Overwatch.
Yes.
That is the swing around that Horizon needed. It's 1-1 on Ilios. This is it. It's still match point. If the Rakunyans take this, it's over. But Horizon has demonstrated immediately right now they are not out of the fight yet.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to count them out just yet, and we're gonna actually see the Widows come out. We're glad we didn't see those get banned. Lum versus Bakugo. We're gonna see if this happens. Jack on the Hammond. Jack definitely gonna be shooting for my MVP vote here, as I do love the Wrecking Ball. Maybe only equally to the Farah, but we'll just have to see how it plays here on this Ruins map.
And this is a composition from Rakunyans that is absolutely incredible. It's the farm, it's the farmers, it's the Mercy Hammond, and then with Lucio actually, and then 3 DPS, a much more damagey, punch-heavy composition that you like to see. Klein is going to be sticking onto the Baptiste. Maybe they thought that actually had a good thing for them. Freya building up some charge. Bakugo takes down Jack, and so the point is looking very much so in favor of Horizon, who have taken an early kill lead, and they take the point as well, though the DMEC onto Blake means that it's going to be a little difficult for them to keep it, but a Mortality Field has a way of making that a thing.
Yeah, Jack's going to have to learn moving forward that Bakugo is not the target to jump. That Brigitte Shield Bash will make you a sitting duck every time. That was what we saw be the downfall last time. Not a lot of shots being landed on the kill feed currently from either of the snipers for the Rakunyans. But we still have quite a bit of Overwatch to see just on this map alone. And Milo getting a nice boot.
I'm going to go with the Zoning Dragons coming out from Rakuna means that Klein gets the opportunity to get booped into oblivion by Milo. Not off the edge, just dead. But Rakuna again dies, Bakugo deciding that that was too much of an affront. Hana goes down to Jack because of the sheer damage. Incipient is going to res Rakuna. Jack being found by Freya, and the hack, Infernal. They've got a little bit of that thing going on, and the Grav does find Rakuna. They're alive though. Infernal goes down, and no, they're not found, and Lum instead grabs Bakugo. But while this fight's been going on, Horizon's just been generating percentage like it's their job.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where it's like you feel so close to winning the fight that you don't want to give it up, but you're just feeding progress the entire time because you know you're gonna hold. You feel like you can hold this. You feel like you can take it at a certain point. So what do? Do you retreat even though you feel like it's a good fight, or do you just continue to give up this charge? Percentage.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the strategy being taken by Horizon now at this moment, though, because look at the quantity they're going with. The point is being contested, but at 81%, they're very much so approaching the possibility of stalling this into one-fight territory. This is a Horizon with a strength that we have yet to have seen in this match. Blake is going to be dying on the point, and at 92, 3, 4. The take is in, and we are definitely in one-fight territory, though Horizon has a lot of ult building to do.
Yeah, both teams looking like they have just right around that one ult online and ready to go. However, a couple gonna be ready probably in the mid-fight. Infernal, worth keeping an eye on. Incipient, particularly for the Rakunyans, they're gonna have more ready sooner. But the mine's gonna be coming out from Jack. It doesn't look like it's gonna get any kills. It's just gonna be for zoning.
Speaking of Horizon doing nasty things with Hanzo, a 3K with a Dragons. Man, remember back in the day when Dragon Ball was like the be-all, end-all, and then the patch went in and you couldn't Mercy boost past that trans anymore? But the 3K just happened completely almost unassisted because of placement and nonsense. So with a single ult, Rakunyans push away Horizon, who have 3 ults of their own.
Yeah, now Horizon looking a little bit fairer in the fight here. However, we're seeing Infernal do a little bit of scouting, perhaps waiting to use that EMP. Not necessarily a great target as there is no Zen, but they're going to pop it and get all 6.
They're going to get the Diva before they get back into mech? Nay. They do re-mech. Blake finds that the Immortality Field is out. Lum finds it with assistance from Rakuna. And so we're looking at still Horizon being trapped in the choke here. And Client goes down. Big source of healing gone, but there's a Lucio and a Brigitte still there. And Rakuna has been found. They are not looking, but wow, not Infernal finds Chef. So again, more sources of healing gone. Blake gets demeched. Fight looking very good for Rakunyans, who again continue to rack up the kills and build that percentage.
Yeah, and now we see the ults once again go in favor of the Rakunyans. There's a lot used on the side of Horizon that they're not going to be able to get back. And they have 3. They're going to have the Grab, they're going to have the Earth Shatter, and they're going to have the Damage Amplification Matrix. But will it be enough is something I think that could go either way.
Yep, and here we go. The big stuff comes in. What does it happen? Incipient goes down. Chef also falls. This time the Dragon gets no one. declines Immortality Field, immediately eliminated, but the defense matrix is there, but Rakunyans have way too many kills! It's no bueno for Hana, who is left on the point and scrambling for power. Rakuna finds Freya, the hack is there, Hana dies, Blake finds Jack, but they immediately fall. I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen it. I've seen enough to know that I've seen too much. Rakunyans take Ilios, end the series.
Yeah, that's overall not some subpar gameplay. I think that we saw this map go, what, 2 or 3 99 to 99s?
Yep. And it's just what an incredible match for both sides. Like, what can you say? Team Horizon was almost there. They had the beginnings of the reverse sweep, literally having lost already the first match onto Ilios. So, like...
Yeah, if I can jump in here, it definitely felt like Team Horizon didn't deserve to have this get 3-0'd on them. It felt much more like it should have been at least a 1-3, maybe a 2-3. Rakunyans definitely kind of bolstering down when they felt the pressure of losing a map kind of hovering. But I think that, you know, looking at some of the scoreboards, it was still pretty competitive. The 99s to 99s on the control maps really kind of hammered that home as well. I guess on Ilios really hammered that home. But I mean, you know, that's just the way it shakes out sometimes. Overall, I think pretty good plays. Don't forget to vote for your MVPs at the bottom of the Twitch chat for us, folks. Let us know who you think was the best.
Yeah, because time is running out, because we have arrived finally at our post game special. We have Lum from the SK Rakunyans joining us for the post-match interview. Lum, congratulations and welcome to the booth.
It's good to be here.
Well. So I have a couple major questions for you. We'll start out with some soft balls. What the heck does the SK stand for?
That means Cyanite. That's the org we play for. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool people, but you know, obviously Cyanite Rakunyans probably doesn't fit in the lobby name, so
Fair.
we have to shorten that to SK.
That's fair.
Just like GHL, you know.
All right, I dig it. So we got the Cyanite Rakunyans. I super love it. So we saw a lot coming out from you, Lum. We saw you flexing onto some pretty crazy roles that, you know, tend to be flexed onto, especially if we're given the meta. So which do you actually prefer, though? Would you rather be clicking heads with Widowmaker or getting sick charge nonsense damage as Zarya?
I actually enjoy them both equally. I think they each have their own strengths. I enjoy playing Zarya because she's probably higher DPS than any DPS character. I mean, other than like Bastion, but you know, like it's very hard to fit him in these scenarios. So yeah, I like the high DPS nature of Zarya and like the team-oriented type, but I also enjoy like mindlessly clicking on heads too. So I really equally love them both. They're both my favorite heroes probably.
All right, man. Do I identify with that? Waltham can attest that I have a bit of a penchant for this for the Widowmaker, but boy, do I love my tanks. So, the match was getting pretty shaky there, going into the third round of Ilios. What was going through y'all's mind?
On that map, we were thinking they were gonna go quads, so we were just kind of messing around with comps, you know, just kind of seeing what worked, you know, seeing what stuck. I mean, we have some experimenting time because we were up 2 maps at one point, so we weren't too worried going in that second. So we just experimenting, you know. I think we just lost that second one because of the ult economy, but you know, we're just playing with our food, if you will.
Oh damn! Oof. Man, is that that's a statement, and I super like it. So coming out of this map, you all are looking pretty good, but SK Rakunyans, as we're gonna call them since that's the way the team's written, y'all are going up against Aptix Esports in round 3 of the main bracket. So I'm not gonna ask you to divulge the comps. I'm not gonna ask you to give me anything good. But what's your mentality? Do you guys have like a major practice schedule? How do you guys warm up for what you think is gonna be a pretty awesome match?
I think it depends on person to person. Some of us might enjoy, you know, just like listening to music, getting all mentally hyped up, and some of us might enjoy just, you know, taking a quick jog. Whatever individually gets you ready, because as long as everyone's in the game, then it will kind of exemplify. Because if one person's not, then everyone won't. So I think it's good to have a good mentality across everyone individually, and that kind of adds up to a team mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, I super approve. My personal preference is actually blasting AC/DC's Thunderstruck into my earbuds.
No, whatever works for you. It's a ritual for everyone, you know?
Gotta hype it up. Waltham, what you got?
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely a music listener, so I definitely feel that vibe. But teach their own. I can't agree, or I mean, I can definitely agree. I can't disagree any other way.
Lum, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations to yourselves and the SK Rakunyans. We're looking forward to seeing y'all in round 3 against Aptic Esports. Good luck and have fun.
Yeah, just quick thing at the end. The reason we're playing so much monkey is because our main tank's right click is broken. So we don't have a monkey one trick. We just don't have a working right click button. So
Rebind Shield. It has a new potential.
I mean, why not just play monkey? XQC mode.
The classic
more monkey.
The classic XQC mouse break. Gonna be looking forward to hope.
I'm not sure. He's only had that mouse for 6 months. I don't know how he does it, but he goes through mice like crazy.
Well, hopefully we'll be catching more of your team as we see them head down the main bracket. Also, Lum, congratulations. I have just been informed that you have been voted our MVP for the match. So much congratulations to you for that. And once again, congratulations to the Rakunyans for taking this game pretty tidily, pretty quickly, if I do say so myself. But for your casting entertainment tonight, I've been Sir Waltham. Catch me on Twitter, Sir Waltham Gaming, or on Twitch at Sir Waltham.
And once again, it's been 3pod007 on Twitch and Twitter at the same at 3pod007.
Thank you very much, guys, for joining us, and we hope you all have a great night and stay safe out there.